Angle Slam
podcast. How are you?
Take two.
Yeah, we had technical difficulties.
Very good technical difficulties.
Yeah.
It could have all gone to shit.
Yeah. What would you do without us?
To fill in your time.
Hello, then, everybody. How is everyone? Don't answer that.
Well, you can answer it. We just went in.
Yeah, we're back.
Well, I hope you're well.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't give a fuck, to be honest. But
oh wow. That's nice.
We're back with the next book.
See you in 3 weeks.
Bye. We're back for the. We apologise. It's a Saudi Arabia show, but it's a show nonetheless.
Super shit show again.
Yeah, 2020.
So we just do the usual. We're on SoundCloud, Stitcher, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Apple Music as well. It's all there. So any of those platforms that work for you, go for that, and we'll be on there.
I don't think there's any deaths. But
not that I'm aware of.
No, but tomorrow I will say this because I did think about it as soon as I said it for the last podcast. I think because the last time we dedicated to Kobe Bryant and his daughter and Rocky Johnson, and I thought about it, I was like, actually that kind of bothers me what I said. During the Rocky Johnson thing, I said it was The Rock's dad. And I know wrestling fans know that's just not the case, but he wasn't just The Rock's dad.
No, he's
a huge star in the 80s.
Yeah,
and a great pioneer. Yeah, exactly. And if anyone watched The Rock eulogy, oh god,
I struggled.
Oh god,
struggled to get through that.
I did think I was watching it, thinking, Rock, just cry, mate. Yeah, it's your dad. You're allowed to, but and also just left a bad taste in my own mouth. With the Kobe Bryant and his daughter thing, there were other people in that helicopter as well. I want to dedicate this one to them because I didn't last time. Yeah. So, right, we're going with it.
Yeah, well, just quickly before we begin as well, just let everybody know that me and my missus, Sarah, if anybody out there's listening that knows us.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you fucking should.
That's why I'm here.
We're thinking of potentially doing like a joint YouTube channel type thing, like lifestyle, travel, fashion, food kind of thing. I'm not too sure what the point of it is yet and how it's going to work. I really don't know how we're going to work this out, but we thought we'd try it, we'll give it a go and see whether it works. So
you can tell it's in the early stages of planning.
It's so early. It's literally just an idea at the moment, but we'll see if it works and just keep a lookout for it because it'll come at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, Super Shit Show 2020.
And it wasn't in Jeddah this time, was it? It's like Riyadh. Which is, whatever, fair enough. Did you watch the pre-show?
I didn't. I don't watch pre-shows.
Well,
really.
literally...
It's rare that I watch pre-shows.
It was kind of nice and comfortable to literally go home from work, switch it on, and there it is. Not a late-night one, which is the kind of silver lining to these shows.
It is literally the only silver lining.
But the thing is, I'm just going to say this from the get-go, because as we rant... my attitude's probably going to change at the end.
There's going to be a lot of screaming, I think. Something
about this show, despite everything that happened, I don't know, I actually enjoyed watching it, and I don't know why. And it'll probably, again, by the end of it, my opinion will all change. But maybe it was the fact they always treat it like a spectacle, like it's Mania. They go balls out with the pyro.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes I felt like it was too much. Even with some of the lasers that were going off, I was like, you're going to blind people.
Yeah, I did think
it was so much. I was like... It is literally let's throw all the money at it.
Yeah, I did think
it's
that.
A bit much.
And I always love the fact they have Godsmack as their theme song. That's a personal thing. Just production wise, then I'll give the thumbs up.
I would never take away production.
But also, again, like the timing of this is nice and comfortable. I have to get up at midnight to watch this stuff. So, but the pre-show it was the Viking Raiders versus the OC, which I literally got home from work and it was about 5-10 minutes into the match. And from what I saw, it was just kind of a very standard tag team you expect.
I heard it was alright, yeah.
Yeah, nothing really stood out apart from... the crowd for me were really electric from the start. At the start they were great, and then as the show went on, it kind of went up and down a little bit. But they really were... was it Ivar?
Yeah.
They really were a huge fan of him. The only spot that I can really remember is that he teased jumping off the second rope, then did the whole turn thing of it's going to be probably a moonsault or whatever, then climbed to the top rope, did the moonsault, completely missed, and I think it wasn't long after that OC came in, magic killer, game over.
Yeah.
Again,
I honestly thought Viking Raiders were going to get their win back here.
I did, because I thought, OC... I did kind of like the fact that it was kind of carrying on from what happened last time in Saudi Arabia, because I think OC won the trophy.
And they beat Viking Raiders to do it.
So I thought it might be you won that time, we'll win this time. But I don't know if it was meant to be more the OC proving they're the that trophy
That's
means something, but they just will go into the next match as well. They won that trophy, and then what?
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. These trophy things that pop up on Saudi Arabia every time, they mean nothing. Yeah. Name one of them that has done anything for the person.
Well, this is it. The first 2 weeks back in America on Raw and all that, they seem like they might have been going through.
But they never use it as a story.
No, which they should.
Yeah. What's the point otherwise?
Yeah, it's kind of like
it's just a hollow kind of prize to win.
Yeah,
just so you can get more people on the card because the Saudi Arabian princes want it.
Well, I mean,
that's all it is.
The thing is, I'm not going to knock AEW because I love them at the minute, but I'll say when it's fair. In AEW, they had the Diamond Ring tournament, or Battle Royal, which MJF won, and he wears this diamond ring, and that's it. I'm like, what was the point of this AEW Diamond Ring? Because they're already on about it being annual, but if it means nothing. Why? It's just a ring.
It's a King of the Ring type thing, then use it as such.
Exactly. But now the ring meant nothing, so this trophy, it means nothing. And this goes on to the main card for the show.
It kicks off to the gauntlet match. I don't know how to... It looks like a frozen streak of piss.
Yeah, it is.
It's meant to be the mountain that signifies strength and durability or power.
I think it's two-way trophy. But it's got a Q at the end, but I think it's a silent Q. I actually enjoyed this.
Really?
For what it was.
I was bored shitless.
For what it was.
I was constantly checking my phone because I was bored. I was just like... the only time that it ever kind of went, ooh, was every time that R-Truth got a fluke win. Yeah. But even so, it was over people that should be getting far more pushes. Well, yeah, I was just like...
I think I agreed from... I enjoyed it from the point of the story revolving around R-Truth. Because... I don't know if they'd advertised this before, or they definitely during the show. He's got his own WWE24 thing coming out.
Yeah,
so
even I found that a bit weird.
I did as well.
Like, they're going with R-Truth for 24s. Like they've got all these other people.
That's it.
And they're going with R-Truth. Like, but he was arrested once. So Jeff Hardy's been arrested 20 times this year, and it's only fucking March.
Next, we're going to get one for Mike the cameraman. So anyone can have one, but. I'm going to watch it. It might be an interesting story. But I thought maybe it's something to do with that, and also the fact that Vince he's a huge fan of R-Truth, and the fans seemed really into him as well. They were really loud pops.
Yeah. Now, the problem is whenever we go to Saudi Arabia is that I don't really take the crowd popping stuff with any seriousness because it's a totally different crowd. The people that they cheer are not the people that we cheer. For the most part. And then other times they're just I don't know what it is. It's just there's a bit of a disconnect there where I feel like maybe they don't 100% understand the product as deep as we do and Americans do, to the point where when they're cheering this kind of stuff, it feels a bit hollow to me.
Well, do you think it's more because it's a rarity for them? They're so excited to see it. They're just going to cheer.
Yeah, it could be that as well. It's just like, I'm just going to go nuts because I don't know when this person's going to be back.
Just pure adrenaline.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a bit, like there's been plenty of times through this show where they were chanting "This is awesome," and every single time I went, "Is it?
Yeah.
Is it awesome?" Because I don't think it is.
It was too much.
And even if it was alright, it doesn't. None of this warranted "This is awesome" fucking chant.
Yeah.
The people need to stop using that chant all the time because it's making it not important.
Yeah.
Because they're constantly using it as soon as it goes up a notch a little bit.
It just seemed to because I was thinking, well, number one, we could just go, well, they're very easily pleased. But on the other side, I was thinking, I did think of the question: do you think it matters more that the audience in the stadium, the arena, whatever, enjoy it, or do you think the television audience matters more? Or do you think it should just be as equal?
I think it should be equal. I mean, you've got to have the people at home enjoying it as well because obviously they're paying for the pay-per-view, but you've got to have the people in the crowd enjoy it because they've paid for a ticket.
Okay, well, not pay-per-view then, just like a regular TV show, like Raw or something.
Well, again, I think it should be even.
It should be the target. Do you think it matters more?
You naturally get more invested when the crowds pop in and everything. And like I said, when it's a regular TV show or a regular pay-per-view, I am when they're popping and everything. But like I said, when it's Saudi Arabia, I don't know what it is. It's just some sort of disconnect to me. Like they're just cheering because fuck it.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
we've got wrestling in our country. Let's cheer the fucking shit out of it.
You know
what I mean?
I'm just thinking because obviously, we'll dive more into this. The backlash on the internet about this show is. Oh god,
it is nuclear.
Yeah, but people are going to. Vince is not unless he's got his head stuck in the stand, which is a possibility. Someone's going to have to go up to him and go, look, they didn't like it.
He doesn't care, does he?
But his response might be, well, they liked it at the stadium. And it's like, okay, they did. But in the long run, again, where does it get you? Which, again, we'll get to as we dive into it.
So Arnold Truth obviously got...
He started with Lashley.
He started with Lashley and he got him out by falling on top of him.
I thought that was Andrade.
Was it?
It was a roll-up.
It was a roll-up with Lashley, and then Andrade came out. First match back since his suspension.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, great, Andrade's back. Haven't seen him in a while. Looking forward to seeing him. Didn't really do anything interesting. Didn't do anything of note. And then he fell on by Truth, and that took a pin. And Andrade's out. I was like, really? Yeah. That means he's got a contendership for the US title then, because he's just pinned the US champion.
Yeah.
Which I don't want. And then Luke. Luke.
Luke's gone.
Luke's gone. Eric Rowan came out with his cage again, and he proceeded to beat the shit out of Truth to the point where he got disqualified. And I was like, again, I don't care. I wasn't interested. It was just like, this is boring the hell out of me. Like, they're trying to get Truth over. It's like, you don't need to get Truth over. He's there as a comedy act. He always has been. He always will be. He'll never be anything different to me. That's all he is. He's entertainment, that's it. And this was an entertainment. It was like they're trying to build this big underdog story. And I didn't care. If they'd have built that 3 or 4 weeks in advance to the show, him pushing forward saying, I'm going to do it and all this kind of stuff, then fine. But they didn't. They didn't at all. And then, so he got Eric Rowan disqualified. Then it was AJ came out, and the only bit I liked about this was that he was dancing around and everything. That was funny.
Yeah.
And then he put the calf crusher in, and Truth was gone.
It. The thing is, right, before we get to the end spot, from what Truth didn't wow me with his wrestling ability, but he can go. He proved that. Yeah, I know we're not knocking that.
Yeah, I'm not knocking that.
So what he did was fine. The roll-up with Lashley seemed quite weak. Lana coming out and just going back again in that stupid gold robe was like, why don't you just knock him out?
Do you know what she reminded me of? She reminded me of one of those old biddies that go in a little rain back out in the winter. You know what I mean? You know the ones that are full with the fun and cagoule and everything. That's what she looked like. What's the point? Why fly her over to look like that?
But yeah, to just go, here he is. I'm dressed like a bitch. I'm about again. Because Zelina didn't come out.
No.
Not for Andrade or Angel later in the thing. So it was like, maybe they'd turn around and go, oh, she was one of the people that said she didn't want to go. Fair enough. But why would Lana want to go just to go, hi, bye?
But it was the same with Bobby Roode. He was in it, but it was so brief, and it was just really quickly he was thrown out. I was like, why send him all the way over there?
But you know what,
especially with the controversy of the flights and all that kind of stuff. Like that wondering, like, will I get home? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to do that.
But yeah, I bet to Bobby, easy paycheck. That'd be it. And I'm guessing with the Saudi shows, they probably get a bigger paycheck than you usually would. Yeah. But I did think with what happened last time,
it's not worth it.
One, not just with the flights, I'd be booking my own flight and getting out of there as soon as
there was plenty of them that were on the card this time that put up things, like, especially a bit like Buddy Murphy saying never again, never will I ever go, and they all went. I was like, so money must have spoken.
Yeah.
If I'd put a tweet up like that saying never again, it would have been never again.
It.
You couldn't pay me enough. If I'd made that conscious decision to say it is not worth it, I wouldn't go.
That's it. Kevin stuck by his things. Like, they don't allow Sammy there, so I'm not.
They don't allow us to back there either.
No.
I think that's probably half the reason that Selena Vega didn't go.
Yeah.
Because obviously she's with House of Black.
So standing by.
Standing by you, man. Yeah.
So last year had the week roll-up lost. He lost his shit, kicked the shit out of Truth. Truth, he noticed he was bleeding. It had a blood going up his cheek. I think he did have a cut cheek, but a point I couldn't tell was the ref was cleaning his ear. Then I think it was some of his teeth. I was like, how bad is he? And I couldn't tell if he was selling it well or genuinely hurt, because at one point he seemed like he was either sandbagging.
He was dead weight. When he was trying to roll him back in the ring, he would, because normally when they roll back in the ring, for people that know the kind of backstage stuff, they help along, so they kind of roll back in naturally. But with this, he literally had to force him up and push him through to the ring. And I was starting to think, is he generally concussed himself?
I thought he was holding his arm a lot. Now, I don't know if that was the selling point or his arm was genuinely fucked. But yeah, they're kicking the shit out of him, then Andrade comes out. That double headbutt thing, I don't know, it just didn't fly with me. And then, I will admit, when I can't remember what happened now. I think it was actually Roman's fault anyway, that Truth got thrown to the stairs. When the cage went flying, I thought that sack was going to come off with it. I was like, oh, we're going to see what's in the cage. No, not to
landed fine.
And so Rowan snaps like, you hurt my friend. What is your friend? I don't know. It could be a moth for all we know.
I kind of want it to be a fluffy little kitten. Though.
Yeah. And then...
with just blood pouring down its mouth.
Well, I thought...
like a piranha cat.
I thought wouldn't be awesome as a kind of throwback to the family if it's like Mercy the Buzzard or something. So he's like connected with Wyatt. It's got to be something...
I'm literally at this point where it's like, there's nothing too bad to be in there. No. Like, it's no matter what they reveal, it's going to be shit.
Yeah, but
so you might as well do something funny.
Because this is the problem. At the minute, the only other person that's seen it is Mojo. And he, like, recorded, like, you sicko. I was like, right, now it's got to be something like a, I don't know...
the head of a child.
Yeah, exactly.
Something awful.
Like a three-headed snake or some shit like that. But it's probably going to be just this, like, puppy with rabies or some shit like that.
It's going to be shit no matter
so,
what it
yes,
is.
AJ comes out, huge pop. I forgot he was heel. I don't know why. But he's doing all the heel stuff.
Yeah, the dancing around
looking absolutely battered, but it's still in my head. Like, are they going to go with the whole Truth pulls the upset?
The missus was like, he's winning this. He's like, no, he isn't. Yeah. It's like, no, he isn't. I'm not having him pin AJ Styles. I'm not having this. And thank God it didn't happen.
Calf crusher, like you say, bye-bye Truth.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, now it kind of means the whole thing with Truth was pretty pointless.
Yeah. Then you have... Ray was meant to come out now. So the music went off twice and he didn't come out. I was like, okay. Then we saw that he'd been beaten up by the OC. I was like, okay, so that means that
AJ
wins by default.
In the win.
Then you pan back to the OC and they're getting their asses kicked. And then
two familiar feet.
Two familiar feet and a coat arrived. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, I thought it was Sting.
No, I didn't. But I did. I literally.
What if they red herring me?
Yeah, as it happened, I did yell yes.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was. You see the feet, you go, oh, but he was rumoured to be there anyway.
Yes,
so it kind of like you shouldn't.
Yeah,
I'd have been popped so much more if I didn't hear any rumours.
But it's the same thing with the Edge at the Rumble. We knew it was going to be there when it happened.
Yeah, but we weren't ever given 100% confirmation that he's definitely cleared and definitely wrestling.
Yeah.
We heard loads of rumours that he'd been to some doctors and he had a bit more surgery and he'd been talking to WWE, but we never got 100% clarification from WWE or Edge himself saying it's happening.
Also, Edge had been gone like 9 years. Taker's been gone about a year. Maybe not even. I think July was his last wrestling match.
So yeah, his feet come out and then... they said give the count to 10.
Yeah.
And it was a count of 30 before the gong even went off. Yeah. And then obviously 5 minutes of him walking down the fucking thing where I could barely see him because of the smoke and lasers.
I did the pop along with the Saudi Arabians when I saw the feet. I will admit, I did think, oh, what's worth of it is Sting. Which I think would have got a bigger pop.
I think he might have done.
But yeah, Taker comes out and, it's the
25 minutes later when he gets down to the ring.
The crowd seemed kind of dead for the entrance. It was almost like...
because it takes forever.
Well, I think they were kind of in the impression of, we'll give you the main pop and then nothing else. There's no, like, continuous, like, roar of the crowd. It's just like, yes, it's Taker! Alright, get on with it. Yeah. So... now, I don't know if it's because... now, at this point, I was glad to see Taker because I'm a mark for Taker. But it was kind of getting to the point, like, I'm not losing my shit as much as I was back in the day.
It's been a couple of years for me like that.
Yeah,
just don't get me wrong, I'm always happy to see Taker, but yeah, I'm not popping like I used to because I know he's old and broken.
So, but I was thinking, right, here we go. The build-up to AJ Taker.
Yeah, there's rumours going on.
What? Right, if AJ had been through the wars, I would have been okay with this.
But fuck all.
He
danced around and he calf crushed R-Truth. That's all he's done.
Yeah. One chokeslam.
Good night. He didn't even take his hat or coat off.
No.
But I know what they'll do. AJ will say something on... is it SmackDown he's on? Or
Raw? Raw, sorry.
Yeah, he'll say something like, oh, I was caught off guard, I didn't expect to see him, and he'll say shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the fact... right, there's a lot of things I don't like about it, to be honest. One, like I say, I don't pop the Taker like I wanted to. Maybe we should have. Two, the fact that it was one choke slam and that was it, good night. No hat off, no jacket off, nothing. It just felt like he wasn't even trying.
Yeah.
Three, the fact that he took that fucking pin from one choke slam. And four, I wouldn't have done it this way.
Yeah.
Bring Taker out, sure. But do it once
after
the match is over.
Yes,
have Ray come out, look, he's the underdog thing, get his ass kicked, but he still comes out. And then AJ still beats him. That's fine. And then Taker comes out, or the gong goes off, lights are on, he's already in the ring, so it fucking saves time, because you don't need to see him constantly walking down the ring for age, especially for something that short. The fucking thing was longer than his fucking time in the ring.
Yeah.
And yeah, it actually adds more validity and strength to the prize itself because he's gone, right, you've won, now you've got my attention.
I was thinking
and it's just like, no, it's like you don't have him come in and enter a match that he wasn't even in.
Yeah.
And win it. That makes no sense. It's stupid. It makes Taker look stupid. It's the wrong way to do it.
If they wanted to do a, go, well, need to save time and shit and all that stuff. Right, number one, yeah, the OC could have still been there with AJ, whatever, but forget their Viking Raiders match, throw Carrillo and Angel on the pre-show, something, whatever, right. What they should have done is almost like a double turn, have AJ, because I was actually kind of getting pumped up to see AJ and Ray collide, because I thought, these guys can go.
Yeah.
I thought they could have had an amazing show, tore it through, and then almost like a double turn. Even if at one point the OC come down, like, we're going to help you out, and AJ goes, no, this is one-on-one, almost like he's going more face, because I think most fans would like to see a face AJ versus face Taker more than heel versus face. A kind of respect match. Have AJ win, and that's it. He's exhausted, and then the gong go off. Taker comes out, like you say, it's like, right, with that momentum, and you're a worthy contender to me. Let's go. What they've done now,
and you can even have a chokeslam thing, do that whole thing again, but you doesn't have to take a pin out of that, and also you can play off the story of I was shocked and unawares, and it works because he's just gone through the ringer and then Taker just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah, because but also, I'm 80% sure this will if AJ Taker happens. Pretty sure there'll be a spot in that match, like maybe 3/4 of the way in, where AJ will hit a chokeslam, Taker go for the pin, and AJ will kick out. It's like, so you can get battered, chokeslam, and kick out of that,
but you can't get out.
You can't get out.
Exactly. Again, it's stupid.
What are you going to say? Was it too hot and Saudi to kick out?
Yeah, it's stupid.
It just. So there's zero momentum for AJ now. I know the storyline's going to be like, well, AJ's going to be pissed. He wants revenge. So why can he still want revenge after the match of Taker just coming out?
And there's another thing that's stupid as well. It made the prize is stupid and pointless anyway.
Yeah, because what's Taker going to do with it? Nothing.
One, he's going to do nothing, and two, he just looked at it and walked off. He didn't even take it with him.
To be honest, it would have been a weird image to see Taker carrying the trophy.
The point is, you've won that trophy. You fucking walked into a match that you weren't even in, pinned the guy, you've won the trophy. So obviously he's worthy enough of your attention. You're the Undertaker.
Yeah.
You've had enough of attention to go, I want to put myself in this match because I want that trophy. Then he looks at it and fucks off. It's stupid writing just to get Taker back in.
Wanted to sell Mania in a like pay-per-view Borex thing to the Saudi Arabians. You could have done the AJ victory thing. Everyone going, oh wow, what an athlete AJ is. Well done. Taker comes out, face off. Mania logo comes on the screen.
Yeah.
Taker points at that, and then the whole thing, and AJ just nods. Then everyone,
that's all you need.
Yeah. Then everyone on TV and in the arena, to Saudi Arabians in the arena, I'm buying Mania. Yeah. No, they completely fucking
screwed it up. But AJ Styles and Taker in this, and they screwed it up already.
How AJ's the phenomenal one, and an old 50-year-old man,
54,
whatever. Can take him out one chokeslam, and then
without even taking his hat off.
It will happen again later tonight in the show. So Taker wins the gauntlet match.
God, this is only the first match of the main card.
Yeah. Right. Now the next match I was actually okay with. It was New Day versus Miz and Morrison for the SmackDown Tag Team. I enjoyed the match.
It was a standard match. It was fine.
Oh, it wasn't like mind blowing.
It was just fine.
But yeah, I'm not saying.
But it wasn't as much of a shock win as I kind of wanted.
No. Kofi's bump on the outside. Holy shit.
The back bump. That sucked.
Could it have been better? Yes. But to me, if you take the whole fact that it's in Saudi Arabia out of the equation, it's probably exactly the same kind of match would have got at any other pay-per-view. They could have knocked it up a notch.
But there's just nothing that much apart from the back bump and the hitting of the chair and rolling up at the tights. Apart from that, or was it? Yeah, it was that.
He hit Kofi and thing with the chair. Then it was the roll up. Yeah.
So Miz and.
But there was a couple of near falls. With I think Kofi kicked out of Skull Crush finale.
Yeah,
I think Big E slid, or vice versa, and got slid out the way of Starship Pain. So it was your typical back and forth wrestling match.
It was fine. It weren't terrible. It wasn't. It's just. I wanted a bit more, especially if this was the bit where Miz and Morrison win the titles, which I think they should have done at Mania anyway.
Yeah.
But they've done it here, it is what it is. Well, I just wanted a little bit more. There was just... There was just that extra additive oomph to make me sit up in my seat.
Yeah, I probably should say this to the end, but as far as the whole show goes, I disagree with not most of the results, but majority of the results. I disagree with the storytelling, even though I know where the story's going to go. I'm okay with where the stories are going to go. The wrestling itself, for the most part, was okay. But we know in a business like WWE, sports entertainment, it's more about but it's the storytelling matters. So I think people have said in the podcast that you could have two of the greatest wrestlers in the world put on a wrestling clinic in the ring. You're not investing in the characters; it's not going to matter.
No. And
vice versa, you could have two great characters. If they suck in the ring, it's going to be shit. So yeah, this is it. And unfortunately, I'm not insulting. In all due respect to the people on the card, it was only maybe 25% of the matches that were kind of main event level caliber, where the rest were kind of mid-carders.
The main three things were the things they fluffed the most.
Yes, I agree.
Which we'll get into later.
We will get into.
So obviously Miz and Morrison win that. So
I'm fine with them being tag champions.
I know, I'm absolutely fine with that. Yeah. It's just they should have maybe done it at Mania, because I seem to think they're putting it on the heels so that the faces can win it back at Mania. And it's like, it's New Day. We don't need to see them have that Mania moment. And there's another thing as well that they seem to be doing a lot lately with New Day. They seem to be protecting Big E quite a lot when it comes to pinfalls and stuff, but not Kofi. And I was like, you do realise he was WWE champion less than a year ago. Fucking Big E hasn't won any of that. I know they want to keep him strong, and I get that, because Big E is amazing. He's absolutely amazing. He's amazing on the mic. He's an amazing character. He's an amazing wrestler, and I love him.
Yeah.
But he can take a pin every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, Kofi is taking all the pins, and he's been WWE champion.
I think there's something in the back of someone's mind backstage of and a lot of other people have said it on podcasts and stuff, that Big E's got that potential of being the next big star.
Absolutely.
So I think I agree with what you're saying, but it's that whole thing they want to keep the strong guys strong, and obviously Big E's got a bigger fame than Kofi's. It's going to be of course, not saying that you're wrong. Big E should take a pin every now and then, but also on the flip side, Kofi's had his moment. If Big E's going to have the next moment, let's protect him as much as we can.
Yeah, I suppose.
As far as yes, I did think maybe at one point Miz and Morrison would win the tag titles at Mania. Now I'm leaning more toward with those stories that are being told, because I think the rumour is still it might be a fatal 4-way TLC match with SmackDown tag titles at Mania, which I'm cool with.
Yep.
I want Heavy Machinery to win it. And
that amazing!
But I want Mandy to help him by fucking over Ziggler, because I want the good
I'd
feeling.
love that. That'd be amazing.
Because I'm actually really invested in that story.
Yeah, I generally am. It seemed a little bit goofy to start with, but there's a lot of layers to this. Like, who sent the text message? It's got to be Sonya. I think it's Sonya.
I think it's either Sonya, it's either Dolph, or I'm thinking, what if it's Tucker? Because he seems to be a bit I'm not going to give too much away that happened on SmackDown, but obviously he kind of gave Mandy for the other week. But it's almost like he doesn't want anything to do with her.
Yeah, but also at the same time, Sonya's in the same boat where she's like, you stop focusing on him because we've got shit to do.
Yeah, and Tucker could be in the same thing. If you get distracted, we got tag team shit to do. And on Ziggler's side, if it is Ziggler, it could be the simple, how could someone like you be overlooked by,
Yeah, it could be the dick.
How could I be overlooked by someone like you? So
I'm invested in it.
I'm invested in it. So it was.
So what was next after that?
Next was Garza Carrillo.
Which
again, wrestling wise,
is a good match,
but no investment.
No investment. Yeah, no investment, and also their previous match was better, so much better. Yeah. This was a TV match. It was fine. They did their bits and bobs, but there wasn't enough of it. There wasn't enough, because I was going into this going, right, this has the potential to be the match of the night. Because these guys know each other really well. They're cousins. They know their shit. They know each other very well. And that match I saw previous was really good and pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah.
And this just wasn't. It was fine. It wasn't terrible. I've seen 10 times worse. But it was just a match that I enjoyed. But again, I wasn't jumping about my seat. I wasn't going, wow, that was awesome, or that was great, or this piece was great. I'm just going,
Yeah. I think, the generic spot where sometimes both competitors are down and the ref starts the 10 count?
Yeah.
They did that one too many times in that match for me. It just seemed to be too many. I was watching it and thinking, this is great wrestling. I was also looking at the style because it seems they're almost creating their own style as well, because it's kind of third cruiserweight, third lucha, third strong style.
Yeah.
So I like the direction they're going with it.
And I also like the way that Carrillo's going with his character. More aggressive, more pissed off.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because Angel, I went with Carrillo in our predictions.
Yeah, so I thought
but now it looks like, I might be wrong, but it might be going like Angel just keeps getting there, that Carrillo might just have to either snap or get aggressive or, pull something out of the hat. Yeah. Or they might just go with the sympathy storyline of like, he can't get it. And eventually he will, and was like, hey, Carrillo.
Could be a Mania thing.
So, maybe.
So, it was just meh.
But this match and the next match to me were almost the piss break matches, because next was Seth and Murphy versus the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Titles.
See, I didn't mind this. It wasn't amazing. None of these matches were amazing, but it was a good story to be told.
Right.
I didn't mind the story being told, because obviously with Seth and it's just Murphy now, isn't it? It's not Buddy Murphy, which is annoying. I'm going to keep calling him Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
So those two, they're working their story of the disciple and the leader and that kind of stuff, and that plays into the finish, which I quite liked. Yeah. The Street Profits were just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed them, and I think it was a nice showing for them. Like I say, it could have been better. There was a lot more spots they could have done, but I still liked the story they were telling.
Yeah.
Like I say, I liked the end of it where he curb stomped him on the apron.
Oh yeah, that was a good
to get him to roll up, and that's how they retain. And again, it's the disciple being pushed into doing something by the leader. Yeah. So look, here's my helping hand. Roll him up. Yeah, and it's just showing that look what you can achieve if you stick with Seth.
As far as the wrestling and the storytelling goes, no complaints. But number one, I don't think any person, even in the arena, bought the fact that. No one thought Street Profits were going to win the titles.
That's one of the downsides. So there's no way they were going
to win.
Yeah.
And also, as far as investment goes, Street Profits haven't been on Raw enough to be fully invested. They're still quite fresh and green and whatnot.
And they've only been involved with this storyline for about 2 weeks, purely to build it towards this show.
And it's also, I will get on board with it, but again, very early, Murphy and Seth seem like an odd pairing. I'm glad that Murphy's in this stable because it puts Murphy up. But it's going to take me a while to get used to that Murphy and Seth on a unit here.
But, I agree. It is an odd pairing, but I like the fact that Murphy's suddenly just part of this faction and he's got something to do. Because before he was potentially going to be floundering. Yeah. And he was thrust into this, and I really enjoy it. And the fact that it's an odd pairing, I don't mind, because it's something different.
Yeah.
I've not had this odd pairing thing in quite a while.
It was the same with Brian when it was the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
We all knew the way it was going to go down, but while it was happening, it was like, this is weird.
Yeah. And same thing when Kane and Daniel Bryan got together.
Yeah, but you got used to it.
Yeah, first time they got together, you're like, what?
Yeah.
And then after a while, you're like, you know what, this is amazing.
There's some times you look back at history and you go, they were tag team partners?
Rock and fucking Mick Foley.
Well, no, but I remember that, but the ones you sometimes don't remember, I completely forget Kofi and CM Punk were tag team champions. It's like, that was a thing.
It's weird, isn't it?
And then Big Show's pretty much teamed with everybody.
Yeah.
I think John Morrison and R-Truth were a tag team.
Yeah, they were.
And you go like, where was I? Was I in the toilet when this happened? Do you remember the Core?
Yeah.
The spin-off from Nexus?
Yeah.
Completely forgot about them until the other day. I was like, But
it was alright. It was an alright match.
Yes.
It's more of a story than anything.
Yeah, Street Profits are still early, green, whatever you call it. Murphy, he'll get there. Yeah, not that he's doing anything wrong. It's just as far as how the story and the characters are going, it's going to take more time. Yeah. And I am liking the direction Seth's going with his Monday Night Messiah thing.
It's the perfect spot for him at the moment.
Yeah, because I almost call it the curse.
He's being a heel, but thinks he's a face.
Yeah, I'm almost going to call it. I was thinking the Universal Championship. This is the next match, but as far as just the championship, I was thinking about that. This fucking belt is cursed because Finn won it out injured. Kevin Owens won it, did amazing with it. Where is he now?
Jumped out.
Yeah, Goldberg won it, lost it within a month by Goldberg. Lesnar wins it, you never see Lesnar, you never see the belt. Seth wins it, within months you're bored and the fans turn against him. There's something about that belt which is a curse.
It is,
and the curse continues, which we'll get to later. But next was Ziggler versus Mansoor.
This, again, was one of the ones I was thinking, this has potential to be incredible.
Yeah,
because Mansoor is great, Ziggler is the bump king.
Yeah.
And, again, it was just alright.
Yeah.
It was fine. And, again, I'm starting to get annoyed now with Mansoor just having one match a year at Saudi Arabia. It's taking me completely out because I know he's going to win. There is no way in hell that he'll ever have a match in Saudi Arabia and lose. I don't know whether this will ever happen, but it wouldn't surprise me because they've got a 10-year thing with Saudi Arabia that they're contracted into. They can't get out of it.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me at some point that if he has a championship match, he will definitely win that. And if there's enough money that talks, here's all this money, Vince, make him the champion.
You mean the world champion?
100%. I'm not saying that it's going to happen the next 2 years, but you've got a 10-year thing to build up. And money talks at the end of the day. And it's proof by this entire show that money talks. Yeah. All the things they should have done, they did the opposite because money talks.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. I like Mansoor, but you've got to start putting him in NXT or put him on a main show and actually build him as a character, not just this novelty thing that we see once a year when we go to Saudi Arabia, because we're going to eventually turn on him. Yeah. Because it's like, no, you're just pushing him and giving him all these wins over these people because they're giving you money. And it's paper thin and it's transparent, and I don't like that. You're not building him up naturally to the point where we're going, yes, win Mansoor. We're just going, well, he's going to win. Of course he's going to win. He's in his hometown. Then he gets his little speech every time and shit. It's just, it's taking me out of me enjoying the match.
He was on the TakeOver pre-show. As I don't know if he was a guest or if he's a regular now. If he's a regular, I agree. If you're on NXT, do something in NXT. Yeah. I was surprised he wasn't in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And I did think, as the match came, Mansoor's got this. But I was thinking, right, you had the Battle Royal win, you beat Cesaro, and now you beat Ziggler. If you really want to avoid, like you say, this becoming a clusterfuck, even if it means the other guy cheats, maybe you should lose the next one. It has that shock value in the Saudi Arabia arena. I heard some boos from the Saudi fans when Mansoor was talking, so they're beginning to think, all right, yeah, we get it. You're from Saudi Arabia, but we're not going to bum you just for the sake of it.
Yeah, I suppose you're right there. Yeah.
But if you want to get that back, maybe have a loss. But if you want to protect him, maybe throw him in a tag team. Doesn't mean he shouldn't eat the pin. If he eats the pin, he eats the pin. But if you really don't want him to, have the partner lose. But he can't win all the fucking time. I agree with what you say.
Yeah.
So a little thing I just remembered. Have you been seeing the glitches on the screen that have been happening?
Yeah.
I'm interested in that.
I don't know what it is.
Right.
I can't think.
Well, one that was in Saudi Arabia, it was kind of like a blue circle made of dots. Just very brief and a thing. I was like, all right. Apparently one of SmackDown was just like this blue envelope, and then it disappeared again. And I always liked those kind of things. It was very like what Jericho did.
Yeah, the Second Coming.
I loved all that stuff.
Yeah, that was great.
Now, I'm very interested in who the hell this could be. It could be someone we don't know about. It could be a returning star. Unfortunately, someone pointed out, I was like, oh, fuck, you're probably right. That circle thing I saw at Super Showdown, very similar to Ali's thing. I was like, I don't do this for Ali.
What?
Because I like Ali, but I could...
Not like that.
If all that
not
happens...
Enough to, oh my God, he's coming back, you know?
All that... It's me! Oh, that's a bit of a letdown. You want it to be like this returning legend or someone for AEW or just something you would not expect. You want your mind blown.
Absolutely incredible.
Not to go like, it was me all the time. So whatever.
So obviously Mansoor won, did his little speech as he usually does, and then that's it. Obviously, that was never going to go any other way, was it? And it's just meh.
Right, you've been ranting anyway, but it's going to go up to another level here.
Prepare for this to go up to 11.
WWE Championship match. Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet. Right.
Now, right. The one thing, I'll let you talk. I will.
I know you will.
I'm so angry. I'm so frustrated and I have no one to get it out to except for you.
Yeah. Well, or the people of the podcast. The podcast people.
The thing that I was going into this match was thinking was, I have heard that Brock Lesnar likes Ricochet.
Yeah, both him and Heyman do.
Yeah, they both like him. They think a lot of him, and Brock has stated a couple of times, I would like to work with him, which I thought brilliant. As soon as he got that contendership, I was like, brilliant, great. I know it's probably only going to be a one-off at Saudi, But I'm looking forward to him doing what he did with AJ, doing what he did with Finn, doing what he did with Seth, doing what he did with Daniel Bryan. Full-on matches with these smaller guys. Yes, you'll still win at the end of it. Of course you are. There's no way anyone was thinking that Ricochet was actually going to do
No one wants to see Ricochet Drew at Mania. They're both
great
people.
No, it's Drew taking out Lesnar at Mania. It's happening, whether you like it or not. He was never going to win. But I wanted to have a good showing.
So did I, yeah.
Just something to go away at the end where, like, even once Lesnar had won, he just turns back and just gives him a little nod and then wanders off. But 90 seconds.
Yeah.
90.
The way I looked at it, I was like, they had that WWE Championship next. Here's your the build-up package. It was great.
Passionate. It's like, why not me?
Yeah, the whole thing. Why not? By the end of the match, that's why.
That's why.
And no fault of Ricochet's own. Like you say, with Lesnar and Ricochet, both very different athletes.
Yeah.
But both very gifted athletes to the point. These two styles are so different that it could be a clusterfuck, but it could also be incredible. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of not fully pumped, but like, let's see what these guys put out the hat. They fuck it up straight away because you missed the opening thing from Ricochet because the camera was like...
Yeah, you only just caught it.
But so they showed it in a replay. Don't get me wrong, I did like that whole spot with like he went to drop it and Leslie just...
slapped him out. Yeah.
But then...
It was
suplex, 3 German suplexes, F5, good night.
Yeah. It didn't get any offense in. Nothing.
Yeah, and for someone that sweats when they sneeze, in Saudi Arabia, I don't think Brock even broke a sweat.
Didn't even break a sweat. If you look at it, he isn't even sweating.
I was just like, what was the point?
Why did we bother? Why did we bother doing this? This whole build-up for that. It's like, Lesnar, come on. I know this is partly to do with you because you'll decide when you want to work and when you don't. And obviously you made that decision not to work that night. I was like, this is Ricochet. You like him. Paul Heyman likes him. Why didn't you just do it? People would have respected you far more for that. Yeah. Or are you just doing this? Maybe you decided to do this to make him more of an asshole so that when Drew finally takes him out...
I was just literally about to say, there's someone going to be there like, we need to...
If that was the case, put him against someone else. Don't put him against Ricochet.
Yeah,
because like... now that you've dropped Ricochet to this thing where it's going to be hard to take him seriously because you've got to build it back up again now.
But yeah, I was going to say, one of the greatest athletes in the world, did you really have to bury him? Ricochet?
Exactly. And also bury. And the word bury does get thrown around quite a lot in the wrestling world. Sometimes a little bit too much, similar to the This Is Awesome channel. Yeah. It's sometimes thrown around far too much. But in this case, there is no if and buts or maybes. This was a burial.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately for... there is a strong argument that nowadays kayfabe is dead.
Yeah.
So fortunately for people, for Ricochet, people like us, fans that know the business, would be like, they shit on you that night, Ricochet. We are so sorry. But we're not going to give up here because I still like Ricochet. Same as I still love AJ, but like I say, with what they're doing with the story, how the hell is AJ now a credible contender to Taker when he gets taken out by one choke?
He's going to end up being like a whiny little bitch, I reckon. I bet you he will.
So, yeah, Ricochet gets like pretty much destroyed. The thing that makes me think, well, okay, if you wanted to make Brock look, this is the build to Mania, Drew's you've got to make him think, well, how the hell's Drew going to get out of this? And Brock's a monster. Yes, he is. But number one, Drew and Ricochet are very different people.
Yep.
Ricochet's a different weight class, different style. Drew is a beast in himself.
You needed a big person for Lesnar to go against instead.
And number two, we need to build Brock up as a beast. Have you been doing that the last decade?
You don't need to build him.
He's
the only person in the entire roster you don't need to build. Yeah. He doesn't even... I've said it a million times and I'll say it to the cows come home. He doesn't even need a title.
No.
As soon as you hear Lesnar, you're like, I'm invested.
Yeah.
Because he's going to kick someone's ass.
Yeah.
Or there's going to be a shock win over him, and that's going to be incredible. It doesn't matter because he's built himself so well. They built him so well that he doesn't need a title. He just needs himself.
Yeah. It's got to the back. I've always seemed to go through this, but back in the day with the Rock Austin rivalry, it was good for many reasons. But one of those reasons was like, who is better here? Who's going to get out on top? It's that I need to see who overcomes what. With Brock, it's like you've built up enough to go, someone's going to get their ass kicked. But leave that what-if belief in there. With Ricochet now, it's like, well, even if there's a future match, we know what's going to happen. Because how the hell is Ricochet going to come back from that kind of loss?
It's going to take a bit of time.
Yeah, so... And also... It's one thing to go, we'll pay you, I don't know if it's like a double pay. Let's say, we'll go for example, say it's double pay for going to Saudi. Brock's on a stupid amount of money anyway. You really want to pay him all that money and more for a 90-second Saudi Arabia match? Get the fuck out of my face.
He gets about $4 million a match.
Yeah. Because I know why he was there, because it's Saudi Arabia, you're the attraction, they want to see you. At one point, you've got to draw the line and say, no, go fuck yourself. We don't need you, especially for a match like that. If you're going to tear the house down, yes. If you're going to go out there for 90 seconds and bury a rising star...
But this is the thing, you bury it, like, again, this has happened a lot in this show. Yeah. Rising stars are being buried by fucking novelty acts. And they're becoming fucking nostalgia acts or whatever they are.
Yeah. But acts that, in this, we'll get to the main event in a minute, but people like Goldberg, like, maybe not Brock, because Brock still, I think he's got a good few years left in him.
Yeah, no, but he's not an up-and-comer.
No, he's not. Yeah. But people like Goldberg, maybe Brock, and even Taker. As you know, huge Taker fan, but even Taker, at this point in their career and their age, it's about putting the future
new talent over. That's one thing I love about people like Ziggler and everything, is that he's like, I've signed a contract because I know where I stand, and I'm going to do that thing and put people over.
Yeah. I mean, we could eat our words in a way, and because if it is AJ Taker, I'll tell you what, unless the story gives me any clues, I really don't know which way it's going to go.
It's got to be AJ.
It kind of has to be, because otherwise it's like, he made you look like a fool at Saudi, and he's kicked your ass at Mania. A 54-year-old man who... Because Taker has been saying for years, like, the next match could be my last. And if that's his last, of like, well, it's a very old school method, but I agree with it. Your last match should be putting someone over.
100%.
I mean, Austin
did. The shield.
What's curious to me, or not curious, but fascinating to me, Austin did it for Rock. But Rock was going to Hollywood. But and that wasn't even... So it wasn't the fact of putting Rock over. It was almost a thank you from Austin of like, in the past, I always seem to get the upper hand. I'm returning the favour as my last thing. Mm-hmm. And Rock's gone on record like he was so thankful for that. There needs to be a level of respect in the business to do that. And in this Brock Ricochet case, he didn't even give enough respect to the fans or Ricochet to give us a good
showing. He went out, he jobbed him and left.
Even Heyman was kind of looking... When the match was over, I was kind of trying to get some kind of clues off Heyman. From what I saw, Heyman probably just thought, well, that was a waste of time. But Heyman... I'll praise Heyman to the day I die. I think the first two suplexes, you see Heyman kind of... like his hands were over his face. I was like, oh my God, he's killing him. And he sometimes suspends my disbelief of like, is he genuinely like, oh my God, Brock, what have you done? In a sense of... oh, you might have actually hurt Ricochet here, or are you doing it in the sense of, as a fan, like, to this day, even Heyman is shocked by Lesnar's brutality. Mm-hmm. And that puts it over. Not that he needs to be put over anymore, but if Heyman still needs to give you that extra oomph, him just standing there in shock of, like, I can't believe how monstrous my client is. Easily done by Heyman. That's all we need to do.
So, shit. Absolute rubbish.
Right, next was the steel cage match.
And again, I didn't... None of us wanted this match because we all thought the feud was over. This feud has been going on for about 25 years.
Yeah, it was just because it's sour.
I did enjoy the feud to begin with, and then once it ended at the Royal Rumble, and that's what I thought was the end, I was like, right, this is it. He's got his win. It's over. Yeah. Great opening match for Royal Rumble. Really enjoyed it. Yeah. I thought that was it. Then we got more on SmackDown with him eating dog food and all that kind of shit. I was like, why are we doing it? The feud's over. Yeah. The feud is definitely over. And then they go, we're going to do it one more time in a steel cage. I was like, oh my God. This is the only way to get Reigns on the fucking card,
It was all done, I think, just that Saudi show.
It was only 13 minutes long, this steel cage match. And it was nothing special. Yeah. It really wasn't. The only things I can think of is then Reigns almost falling out of the cage. And then him winning with a Superman punch with the chain around his arm. Yeah, that's it. That's all I can think.
Him having his own key, I liked his touch a lot. Right, the doors are no go now. From what I saw, it was a great match, not a great cage match. Well, I'm stretching the word "great" here.
Yeah, I'd say good.
Yeah, good match. But not. I don't think they used the cage enough. They used it. There was the fighting on top of the cage. There was the falling down from the rope on his groin. It was a very the spots you expect. Even the great end of the cage.
But even then, I was still bored.
Yeah,
there was nothing that was really making me jump out my seat.
But I think we were bored because it's like we're done with this. Like you said, we're
done with the feud.
We're done with the story.
We know who's winning.
Yeah, if it was something like with Ciampa and Gargano, right? If we generally thought if they did a takeover and the match went so well, it had like a perfect ending to it. And then you go, oh, they're going to have another match. We reacting the same, like, oh, we love these guys, but we don't need to. Story's over.
Yeah.
But if the story's that good that you're clamouring for one more match, then yes, great. But with Corbin and Reigns, you just weren't. It was sorry, my phone. It was just a done deal.
Yeah, it was.
But again, I understand why they did it. They're like, well, we've got to pull something out of Saudi. They want to see Roman. He's had that thing with Corbin, and for good measure, we'll put a cage in there. That's all it was. Yeah. It was nothing for a pay-per-view standard. It was just for the
money talks.
Yeah, it was purely
it's just money talks, and this is the problem with the Saudi Arabia shows. They fuck up the process.
Yeah.
A lot. Yes, money talks most times anyway, but it talks even more when you've got Saudi princes involved with the amount of money they've got.
Yeah.
And it's putting these shows, especially putting it this close to Mania, it fucks up your process, it fucks up your storylines, because you've got to sometimes put shit on hold to go and do this, and then pick it back up again.
Yeah.
Like things with titles and everything. Oh, we can't have that person go out and do this, so we're going to throw this person into the mix for a title picture, like Naomi and fucking Bayley.
Yeah.
So I'll do that once, and then fucking Bayley can bugger off and do this elsewhere. It's shit like that. Yeah. It's just like you're doing it for money, and it's just... You are screwing up the entire process of what you're trying to build, especially this close to Mania, where you need to have solid building from Rumble to Mania, so that when that blow-off happens at Mania, you are clamouring for those moments.
Yeah.
And this is just cutting it dead. That is all you're doing. You're cutting it dead.
A lot of people are already boycotting Mania because of this.
Did you hear that Macaulay Culkin cancelled his tickets?
And then was he even going?
No, apparently he was. Apparently he bought the tickets to Tampa and he cancelled it because of things we'll get into.
But I was going to say, yes, apart from the Lesnar's, the WWE Universal Championship matches, and maybe the Gauntlet matches, take them out, look at the card, it's a house show card.
Yeah.
Because, 100%. Don't get me wrong, at a house show, if I bought a ticket to a house show, untelevised event, and that was the card and the matches, I'd be fine with that.
Absolutely.
Because I'm seeing a steel cage match. Of course it's Reigns Corbin, because that's kind of what's going on at the minute. But as far as a televised sort of pay-per-view, I'm not counting it as one of the
big ones.
It is a big one, but it's not.
It's not the ones that we.
It's not one of the big 12.
It's not prestigious.
Yes, that. Yeah.
That's another thing that annoyed me. A quick note: they kept saying prestigious trophy. I was like, "How's it prestigious?
No,
you just invented it."
Yeah.
It doesn't have prestige. It's this fucking piece of plastic piss.
Yeah.
It's not prestigious.
It's
ridiculous.
And it's to do with a mountain. What good has a mountain ever done?
No. You should have Braun Strowman with it. He's the mountain.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering. He weren't there, so I'm wondering if Braun was one of those guys that went, I ain't going. Forget it.
Yeah. And then another thing, a quick note as well, Cole was pissing me off. Pissing me off most days. The amount of times you mentioned we're here at Super Showdown at Saudi Arabia. It's like, we know, Michael. We're watching the pay-per-view, the people are there, and it says Super Showdown fucking all over the arena.
Also, what he kind of says it at the start, I think he even said, the only way you can watch this is WWE Network, right? So I would be more forgiving if it was on a TV channel or like a
pay-per-view for casual fans.
Yeah, so what's this? And then Michael Cole goes, this is Super Showdown. Super Showdown. The fact that you said it's only on the WWE Network, it means they took the time to open the app, to click on it.
Got in.
No one's ever gone, what's this app? What's this show? What is this? Oh, lucky Michael Cole's here to tell us what it is.
Exactly.
I didn't read it on the fucking screen. So, right.
It's so annoying.
So, yeah, next was the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Bayley versus Naomi. Which was the Battle of the Big Shirts.
Yeah, which again, though, that was the first time I heard Bayley's new music. Yeah, and just
fine.
The way she's beginning to rub off me a bit, and the way she's beginning to carry herself, it's not been great, but the heel thing is slowly beginning to catch on, slowly but surely.
It might be for you, but then for me.
I was talking.
I'm still bored.
No,
it's just generic.
Yeah, my brother's the same, and the way he wanted it, he goes if she originally turned heel, when she still had the wacky inflatable tube and stuff. It was weird because again you got that kind of music for someone who's meant to be heel, and what Zach was made for, my brother, for those that don't know, was more the way Kurt Angle was when he first came in. Of like, thought he was doing the fans a favour. Of like, oh, I do this for you, not for me. You people should follow me because I'll be your hero. And I agree, Bayley like that would have worked.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't executed well the first time. So they kind of like, right, we need to just go full on with this. So took out the tube man, new music. I heard her telling people to shut up and just being a bitch in the ring. Now, I don't know if this is just... A big part of this might be because I'm comparing it to Lacey versus Natalya. I thought Lacey and Natalya's match sucked.
Yeah, it did. It was stiff as hell.
Yeah. So in comparison, this match is kind of good. And I also know... I've always kind of been quite vocal that I wasn't really a big fan of Naomi.
I quite like that.
Athletically, what I saw, the springboard stuff and the over the top rope, I was enjoying what she did. Again, the part of Naomi that annoys me is that her character is I wear glow-in-the-dark clothing. Any fucker can do that.
Yeah, but any fucker can do what Bayley's doing. She's being a generic heel for me.
Yes, but sometimes it's about delivery.
Yeah.
So the same with when they talk about The Undertaker. Someone probably out there going, anyone can walk slowly, wear a hat and coat and be that. No. Taker just... There's something about his presence, his look and all that, again, we'll never know because there's only ever been one Taker, always will be. Is that the bike? No, sorry, yeah, right. Some people just like rap into it. Same with The Rock. Only The Rock can be The Rock. There's no one can have that, be that good on the mic. Now, I agree what you're saying with Bayley's generic heel thing. Anyone can do the way she's behaving, but she's putting her own twist on it. And with Naomi, again, athletically, she did blow me away that night of just what she's capable of in the ring. But I still think, anyone can wear glow in the dark and dance in the ring.
Again, for me, the match was just fine. There was no match on this card that made me go, "Oh, that was awesome," or "That was good," or "Well done, guys, well done, girls. That was a solid match." Everything just came away going.
Maybe because the way I was watching it, of like, I'm not watching this as a pay per view. Like I just said, I just saw this is just there's the pay per views and then there's these Saudi shows.
Yeah.
Which
how did she win again? I can't remember.
Because she hit the Bayley to Bayley, but Naomi kicked out.
Yes, which was the one thing I kind of went, oh.
Yeah, wasn't it? I think it was a submission, wasn't it? Yes, she tucked her feet in the t-shirt.
Yes, that's one thing I did like. She used the big t-shirt to the effect, and tucked her leg in it, and then
pulled back into something.
She pulled her back, and then she did the flat DDT thing into the back and took the pin. Which I was really surprised they actually gave Bayley the win here, because I honestly thought they were going to give it to Naomi for one very good reason. It's the second ever show. Women's match on these shows in Saudi Arabia. First ever title match. Yeah. And I thought they'd go in with this whole, it's such a big deal with these women and inspirational to the girls that are out there in the audience and stuff, seeing this stuff. So I thought they want that big happy bubblegum happy moment. Mm-hmm. So naturally Naomi's that perfect fit to win the title there, dethrone Bayley and have that moment. And I know it makes no sense because Bayley's meant to be building up towards her and potentially Sasha at Mania and all that kind of stuff. But as we've seen in this show and many others that have been in Saudi Arabia, they don't tend to care. They'll rectify it later on if they have to, but they'll just change things because money talks.
The way I saw it, I was on the opposite side of the spectrum of that, and lucky me, I was right. But I saw it as... So I think Bayley, despite like what we just spoke about, I think compared to Naomi, Bayley's still a stronger character to walk into Mania as champion. When you hear Bayley defending the title against someone at Mania, I think that speaks more money than Naomi defending it.
Yes.
And again, all due respect to Naomi. And also, I thought, they could go with a new champion, but because of how, even though the tide's changing, because of how tense it is with the women wrestling there at the minute. If Naomi wins the championship, but because of where they are, it's just dead effect, no reaction, it's not going to feel as special.
It's a waste.
So I think that maybe that's why they didn't.
Yeah.
I think they just thought, let's play it safe here and just go like that. And then also, don't want to be this guy, but throwing it out there, there'll probably be people going out there going, nah, she'll win it because she's blacker than Saudi Arabia. There'll be some people out there that say that. I don't think so.
No, I don't. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah,
but there will be pubs.
Yeah, of course there will be.
Think that because people want to have a problem with something.
Yeah.
I do like. I actually noticed there was only maybe 1 or 2 men that turned their backs.
Yeah, I saw a couple.
For the majority, they were all watching.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that they're slowly coming around to this fact.
Yeah, the thing is, with what I see of the casual fans that are there and are actually fans of the product, they are loving it. They are enjoying themselves, they are watching it, they are loved to be there. The problem everyone's had with this thing from the get-go is the top class, the management people.
Yeah, the princes.
The princes, Vince, all the businessmen of it. Because, don't get me wrong, if I was running a business, of course I'd want to make all that kind of money. But sometimes you have to look at your own moral compass.
That's the thing, but I don't think Vince has one.
No, of course he doesn't.
He has no moral compass at all.
Okay, I was going to say something else, but I'll leave it to the main event. So get your angry voice ready.
Is it next?
Yeah, it's the last match.
Right, so main event. Obviously you already know what's happened because you're listening to this. Fiend, Universal Champion versus Goldberg.
I saw my brother last night. We looked at each other and I just said, you know what, I don't even want to talk about it. Because we both knew. We just both knew.
So did we. Me and Sarah were sitting there going, this is what's going to happen, isn't it?
Well, no, not just during the match. I was
before the match, before the show even started, we're like, it's going to happen, isn't it?
I was literally, when the match happened, because I was still unsure, I was actually going, this is interesting because, yes, I'm unsure for a horrible reason, but I'm invested in this now. Because it's a Goldberg match, I knew it wasn't going to be long. I knew it was just going to be, like you said, a spot fest, which...
That's all it is.
Yeah, but Goldberg, maybe he'll argue that, maybe not. But he can argue it all he wants. It is a spot fest, and for a Goldberg match, that's kind of what I want to see. Just this, similar to the Lesnar Goldberg thing.
Yeah, Mania. That was good.
Bang, bang, bang. That was wild. Wow, that's what I was hoping for. But by the end of the match, I watched it by myself. I literally just mouth open, like, oh my god, I can't believe they've gone this way. But the way the match was going was exactly the way I thought it should have to that point. Apart from at one point when Fiend and Goldberg went nose to nose.
And Goldberg weren't even flinching.
Yeah, Fiend did.
What, did he?
Yeah, at one point I saw Bray kind of giving him the eyes, and at one point he kind of looked around with his big yellow eyes. Now, I don't know if it was meant to come across the way I saw it, but the way I saw it was a kind of like a nervous, he's not intimidated by me. And he shouldn't be doing that with Bray.
I didn't notice that, but the thing I did notice is the fact that Goldberg didn't. Nothing. He was he was just sniffing like a dog, and that was it. Just dead eyes. Like, come on, I know you're Goldberg, but you're in your fucking 50s.
To be fair,
and it's just like you should have a little bit of kind of wherewithal about it. Going, this is not like something I've been against before, because they built this character called the Fiend, this terrifying character that every time you square up, no one's squared off with him like that before, and you've got to have this little bit of fear, and you've got to keep that characterization no matter whether he's got a title or whether he hasn't, because you want that storyline to continuously carry through any feud that he's in, that every single person is going, I'm not sure about this guy. This guy freaks me out a little bit. And yes, I realise eventually you get to that point where you find someone that isn't scared of him.
Yeah.
But not this fucking early. It's only been a year. And just have it be Goldberg as well.
Again, we know why maybe they didn't do that because of the result. But I respectfully disagree. I disagree. Because...
Original!
It's Goldberg's character is insane. Well, he's kind of insane in real life as well, but he's that insane and that sure of his dominance that he wouldn't be intimidated. But yes, I agree. The intimidation should have begun to seep through which it did when he hit Bray with the spears.
Yeah, once. The first spear.
He was like,
kicked out once. He was like,
yeah.
fuck,
and then he hit the other three. Well, there was the mandible claw first. I was like, yeah, here we go, right? And then there was the other 3 spears, and he kicked out again.
Then another.
And Goldberg was so frustrated. I agree. It should have been him in like shock of like, what do I have to do to beat this guy?
But he kind of flicked on straight away going, I know what I've got to do.
Yeah, but at that point when he was like, to me, I wanted Goldberg, like, he hit the ring, I thought maybe he should like scream at the ref or something, and while he's doing that, Bray just popped straight back up, and Goldberg looked at him like, oh my god, mandible claw. And then, right, with the jackhammer was shit. Right.
It was so awful. He didn't even get him up. He literally just flipped him over. It was more like a power slam than anything.
When he was setting him up, it took a while for him to pop up. It almost had the whole... He wasn't sure if he could do this. And he did it. What I thought should have happened and would have happened was going to be 1, 2... Bray's the second guy to kick out of the jackhammer ever, puts Bray over like it should.
100%.
Goldberg,
even in defeat, that would put him over.
Goldberg's in utter shock. But at this point, because Bray should be selling the injuries a bit. Goldberg sets up another spear. If he can, Bray turn it into Sister Abigail, mandible claw, game over.
Yeah.
Because at that point, Goldberg doesn't have to take the pin. He passes out because of mandible claw. Bray's still champ. Goldberg doesn't look too much like a chump. Everyone's happy. No, shittest jackhammer in the world, puts him away. Fair enough to go, the Fiend got up straight away afterwards. Regardless, he's not jumping anymore.
Yeah, but he got up and looked at him as if to say, fiddlesticks, and then the light went out. I was like, what? Attack him! Fucking beat it! He took your thing! He took your toy!
Yeah, it was like, how dare you? Good night, sir.
Yeah.
But it happened.
It was ridiculous the way they did this. It was insane. Like, if they really were going to go with this Goldberg win, they should have done it properly, where at the end of it, we'd go, well, Bray still looks like a monster. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's still like... But with this, it's just... It's not completely destroyed the Fiend, but he's definitely taken a knock.
Yeah, if he'd hit the jackhammer properly, still would have been just as upset. But the fact that after everything that Seth and Brian and everyone before has thrown at Bray, that shitty jackhammer could put it away, I ain't buying that in the long shot.
It's shit storytelling. If that was the jackhammer and that just failed the way it did that time, at that point they should call it in the ring. And Goldberg should have gone, kick out, we'll go again. Yeah, just say something like that. Just kick out, we'll go again. It's like, we'll do a couple more bits and we'll retake that because we need to make it more believable. Yeah. But no, he just went, let's just do it as it is. It's like, it was honestly one of the worst decisions that they've made.
But because they protected the Fiend for so long.
Yeah. So long, you've done so much. The amount of shit you've thrown at him with movesets and everything, and he's kicked out of so much, and he's gone over so much, and he's changed so many people in the business because of them not being able to get past him. Yeah. This character has been built absolutely perfectly, but apart from the Hell in a Cell thing with Seth, everything else is absolutely fucking gold. Bray has done everything brilliant. The Fiend is an amazing character. There is genuine fear instilled in it that every time he's out, I'm terrified for the person he's going against because they're going to get their ass kicked. And I can't wait to kick out a shit that you're not meant to kick out. They have built this character so well. And then to just unceremoniously bin it off this way with Goldberg, a part-timer, taking the title from him. Not even someone that they can put over. I would have preferred Reigns. I would have preferred Reigns, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but I would have preferred Reigns to take the title from him. But no, they give it to Goldberg out of everyone, and it was a shit match as well. It didn't even it had this small moment where it put Bray over as this kind of big character, like, because he kicked out of these many spears, and it had a little bit of unsureness in Goldberg's eyes. But in the end of things, it was only a couple of minutes long, and he got killed by a shit jackhammer. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it wasn't a wrestling clinic. But because of who the characters were, I was invested from start to finish, as short as it was. I disagree with the result 100%.
I don't think there's any person that can agree with that result. No. You agree with that result, you clearly don't like wrestling the way it is at the moment. You clearly don't give a shit about the character of the Fiend.
Vince's fucking logic here is... Someone's probably had to rattle him and go, you still live in the 80s, Vince. Stop booking it like in the 80s. This is a new generation. And he's probably thought, well... okay, I had to in the Attitude Era. They still want an Attitude Era. We'll do what we did in the 90s. Goldberg was big in the 90s. They'll like that. No, because we're in 2020 now.
We're not in this place anymore. And this is the problem. How can you build news? And then I think Adam Pacitti, the guy that's in Cultaholic, he put something on Twitter, and Luke Owen from WrestleTalk retweeted it. And I retweeted it as well because it makes absolute sense. It was like, what would you do if you were in the Attitude Era and you were doing this kind of nostalgia stuff? You wouldn't have any of these new and upcoming acts being the way they are. No. You are doing the exact same thing right now by having all these nostalgia acts. Yes, nostalgia is important and sometimes it's perfect, and if you build it right, it's great. But you are relying on it so much now to have your big matches and your big shows that you are screwing over the new talent so much in Bray Wyatt, in Ricochet, in AJ Styles, and anybody else that you fucked over in the past. So much much that by the time these nostalgia acts are dead and gone,
you'll have nothing.
Yeah. You'll have nothing left because you haven't built them enough for any of us to give a shit. We won't care. The only reason we're starting to care about Finn Balor again is because he's on NXT again. If he was still on Raw, I wouldn't give a fuck. They are building these people so wrong because they're so busy looking so far in the past because they think that that's what's going to get them ratings. Yes, I understand that SmackDown gets a spike every time that Goldberg appears because, yes, it's a nostalgia act. It doesn't mean that you have to put him over the new talent and take a title away from one of the biggest and best new characters you have ever had in this industry. Just so you can have those big extra buys for WrestleMania because you haven't sold out yet. You think Goldberg versus fucking Roman Reigns is going to be that big match. Yeah. It's not going to be that big match. No one wants that. Reigns doesn't even want that. He doesn't want it. No. So why would you do it? It's absolutely insanity and someone needs to smack Vince in the face and say, you need to fucking stop.
Well, I can say what I was going to say before now.
Oh, fuck me.
Another thing come up, apparently the stock owners are not happy with Vince. And they're like, I wonder fucking why.
Yeah.
Because
how long did it take you?
The thing, there's got, have you watched Broken Tool Sessions with Big Show?
No.
Right.
I keep forgetting to watch
the Big Show one's okay, but I'd heard the stories before, right? But a lot of them. But one of the things he said was, in this business, you've got the wrestlers, the characters, and you've got the attractions. And he admits, like, back in the day, Hogan was the star, Andre was the attraction.
Yep.
And that's the difference. Same with what we said about R-Truth. R-Truth is that the entertainment value and all that. Now, back in the Attitude Era, Austin was the star.
Yeah.
It was like, protect this guy while the fans love him because he is the guy we all love. But now when Austin comes back, I don't want him to be champion because he's an attraction. He's the one who's like, I want to see what he says.
There's a shift. There's always a shift because it's a cog in, like CM Punk is the cog in the machine. You take the cog out, you put another one in, you carry on. But the problem is they keep taking out these new cogs and putting the old ones back in and think the machine will run the same.
No,
and it won't.
I'll go on record now. I would have taken the bits. I would hate it if he became champion again because it's not business sense. And I thought they would have seen that with this stupid Goldberg thing, but no. So. The thing, the only logic I'm seeing in this, if at all, is okay. Right, I think I know a few of these bits because I've watched SmackDown. You haven't. If they want to go with Goldberg Roman, fine. Did the title need to be involved in that?
No,
I don't think so. If you didn't want Bray to be
versus new, Spear versus Spear, that's more than enough.
If you didn't want to be Bray to be champion anymore, fine. But couldn't you have done it in a triple threat, fatal four-way thing, even if it was Goldberg walking out with the belt, where he doesn't get pinned?
Protected.
And three, our friend Taylor said this, he just messaged me, like, just a thought, why, if couldn't have Bray lost as Firefly Funhouse Bray, so it would have kept the Fiend protected? He still would have been champ, he still would have got that result that you fucking want, even though I don't understand why you want that result. So
that's the thing. No one does except Vince.
See, now
he wants that result. We don't.
I now know again what happens on SmackDown. What's going on with the Fiend?
I think I know what's going on with the Fiend. I know that John Cena's coming back, and I think the strongest rumour is that it's going to be those two against each other at Mania.
But do you want me to confirm yes or no?
I'm pretty sure that it's going to be. I'm confident that it is.
But do you want me to confirm yes or no with it? Or do you want to watch SmackDown?
Well, I'm going to watch SmackDown, but I would say that it's probably the case. Because I get the story point in that, because obviously one of the people that Bray had such a big feud and problem with in the past was John Cena, and trying to get over him and past him was a big deal. They made the wrong call in making Cena win at that year's Mania over Bray. They shouldn't have done that. Bray should have won. But he didn't, and things have gone the way they have.
Yeah.
This is the opportunity now, if they are doing it, which I'm pretty confident they are, this is the opportunity for them to claw something back for the Fiend. Like, they have seriously wounded him here. They have seriously wounded him with this show and this decision they've made. So if they are going to put him against Cena, they need to make sure they put him over.
Yeah, to protect spoilers for you, I'll keep saying if. But, okay, whether it's Cena or whoever Fiend goes against, right? I'm not fully uninvested in Bray, because, again, it's like the Ricochet thing wasn't his fault. Yeah. And I still love what kind of character Bray is with the Firefly Force and the Fiend. With the Fiend going into Mania, if it was undefeated, I still would have loved that. Of like, yeah, right. And there would have been that small thing in your head of going, oh, is he going to lose at Mania? But then it would have been going, no, they've got to keep him strong. Now with what they've done, it's like, Fiend's going to win. Or will he? Because now what they've done at Super Showdown is like, right, he can be beaten. And it's going to make even the non-kayfabe and kayfabe fans question what can happen here. So there's another level of investment, but to book it that way just to get that little bit of doubt of can Fiend do it or not is not the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Because kayfabe fans who think it's real are now going to be going, right, so a 54-year-old or 55-year-old man that hasn't wrestled properly in years has beaten the monster, which is Bray. And then the
not wrestled in years, hasn't ever wrestled.
Yeah.
And he doesn't wrestle.
And then the non-kayfabe fans like us are just looking at it like, well, just everything we just went about. Like, how is this a logical thing of having a guy who, at this point in his life, should start putting people over? Not him getting put over 100%. To be a over 50s.
Because I've got a feeling that Goldberg has a Hogan complex about him.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that's what he's got. He's like, no, I'm going to put myself over because I'm Goldberg.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing like Hogan did it with Shawn Michaels and that kind of shit. And Shawn Michaels went, right, well, I'm going to fucking overact the shit out of it then.
I think Goldberg, to a degree, again, his character is kind of loosely based on himself. I think he is kind of a loose cannon at times. They had the Matt Riddle thing.
But the point is, you have to work for this business as well as it working for you. And sometimes, like I say, I don't get wrong, that I don't need Lesnar in a title picture or anything like that. But every now and then, Lesnar does the right thing.
Yeah, of course
he puts someone over, even down to the small things like in the Rumble where he put Keith Lee over.
Oh, yeah.
And terrified, just looking at Heyman going, who the fuck's this guy? Shit like that. It's just like, sometimes he does the right thing, but I can't remember Goldberg ever doing that.
No.
Yes, I know that Lesnar beat him at Mania, but only because he beat him previously at Survivor Series in a quick match. That it's like one-on-one. You know what I mean?
Well, there's
never a time I can think.
We'll take a beat him at Crown Jewel, but that was one of the shittiest
that
matches
was so sloppy and shit. No one was a winner there.
If anyone had the balls to go to Goldberg, Matt Riddle would, but we know how that would go
this
down.
This is the thing that me and Sarah were talking about as soon as the match was over. I'm pretty confident the reason he's done this is because, like I said, it spikes every time that Goldberg's there in attendance and monies and all that kind of shit, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So he's gone and thought, right, we know for a fact that they haven't sold out tickets for Mania yet.
Mm-hmm.
So they've still got some to sell. They have to sell out. It's WrestleMania. They have to make sure they sell out because it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I get that. So I bet you any money that Vince's logic is thinking, I've got to get Goldberg on the card. How do I get him on the card? I make him champion so he has to be on the card. That's how he's done it to get those extra buys, which is ridiculous.
You could have had him on the card anyway.
No, you could have had him on the card anyway, and you could have had him against Riddle.
Yeah.
This is a ready-made story that neither of them are opposed to. Riddle wants it. Goldberg said, we'll chat, we'll do it at the right moment.
I don't think so. I think Goldberg genuinely doesn't like Riddle.
No, he doesn't. But even in the way he spoke to him in the backstage segment, he said it in a way as if to say, we've got a lot of talking to do. As if to say, fair enough, you're being a dick, but I'm not opposed to it.
I thought it was more, we need to chat because you need to stop talking shit on Twitter.
Mate,
the same way Seth was about...
I think that Goldberg would be up for it given the right circumstance. And if the right circumstance was definitely Mania. If you wanted those last buys at Mania to get it selling out, put that match on the card and people go, I'm fully invested in this.
I'd actually be worried about it because what if what happened to Fiend happened to Riddle?
Well, it probably would. But
so I'd rather Fiend.
But you'd be invested as fuck.
Yeah, but I'd still rather protect Riddle because I'd just be so...
What, than the Fiend?
Well, no, I mean, the Fiend's done now. That's
but my point is, you could have had Fiend win this match instead, go on to do what he was doing, and have Goldberg versus Riddle.
Yeah, but I mean, just the match in itself, because now we've seen how his Goldberg matches usually go down. Can you imagine him at the curtain or wherever it is, and Vince just goes, Goldberg's going to spear you twice, jackhammer, that's it. That would bury Riddle. Because this is all Goldberg seems to do.
Yeah. And maybe this is the thing. Maybe Goldberg shouldn't be there anymore.
No, he shouldn't. Because I like the character Goldberg. And from what I've seen with the documentaries, him being a family man, he looks like a phenomenal father and husband. But...
He's in it. He's not in for the business. He's in it for himself.
Yeah, there's something still unprofessional there.
There really
because
is.
If someone went up to him and asked him two questions, like, did you need the championship and did you earn it? And if he was honest with
he
himself...
He didn't even earn a spot. He just said, I'm coming for the title.
Yeah.
Like, and then Bray was stupid enough to go, I accept. It's like, what? No. It's like, we have all these people earning spots in number one contenderships and fucking fatal 4-ways and 5-ways and elimination chamber matches, which we're having, I think, 3 of to determine whether they're going against a champion or not.
Yeah.
Yet he just rocks up and goes, well, I'm Goldberg, so I'm getting the title shot. No!
It's not
You're ruining your own consistency just because you want to chuck him on the card. It's
but they should have seen this with what happened at WrestleMania 30. They go, let Batista return to go into Orton for the championship. Now, I think if Bryan wasn't even in the equation...
But at least he won the Rumble.
Yeah, yes. Okay, I forgot about that. But if Bryan wasn't even in the equation, you know, and say non-kayfabe fans know that it's booked and pre-planned and all this results and stuff, they still, I think, would have been like, Batista, you've just come in here from Hollywood just to take the title. What the fuck? The fact that they were like, no, we don't want Batista because he just waltzed him back off the street and go, give me the championship title thing. We want Bryan because he's white hot. We are behind him, and he's worked his fucking ass off to earn that.
Off, 100%.
As have other people to this day, and yet Bill just like, oh, Bray's the prime example. Yeah. Bray worked his ass off.
Look at the fucking work he's put. He put so much work into the Bray Wyatt character that didn't work out. So they repackaged him, let him do what he wanted to do, and he has made a contender for the Undertaker. That's how good the Fiend is as a character.
Yes.
He's that kind of a character that once Taker is gone, he could be that person that every year someone goes, who is going against the Fiend next?
He's that mythological character.
They're happy to ruin that for a nostalgia act like Goldberg. They're happy to ruin that for things like Lesnar. Because if it wasn't me Goldberg, it could have been Lesnar that did this. Yeah. You don't know. They're happy to ruin their up-and-coming characters for their old nostalgia acts. And Pacitti is 100% right in that there won't be anyone left once they're dead.
They need to be careful, because if you go from if we go all the way back to the first Mania, their attraction was Hogan. It just was. Hogan was the biggest thing that hit wrestling, and from Mania 1 to whatever it was, 6, 7, I don't know when we left. I can only imagine, obviously I wasn't there when they were going around, but it must have been, who's going to go against Hogan?
Yeah.
Right? A few Manias in between. Luckily, the booking was good enough to like build characters, but Taker his streak was building up.
Mm-hmm.
And as the streak built its strength, the question was then, who's Taker going to face? Now, regardless of what the pros and cons of how I feel about the streak ending, as soon as Brock did that, it almost became right. It was almost a kind of a passing of the torch of like, it's not who's Taker going to face, it's who's facing Brock. Brock isn't going to be around forever.
No, he will eventually return.
When Brock goes, who's going to fill that void of like, all right, this is the guy that I want to see face such and such at WrestleMania.
That had the potential to be Bray.
Yes.
And you've ruined that now. For what? For Goldberg at WrestleMania 36.
I don't think they've ruined it completely.
No,
but it's going to need a lot of work.
They've wounded him a lot,
yes.
So they need a lot of build-up. And the first thing they need to do is make sure that he beats Cena at Mania, because I'm pretty confident that's what it's going to be, because that's all the rumours. That's what it's going to be. That's the first step to redeem the wound that they put on the Fiend here. They need to make sure they put him over, and emphatically as well. Because Cena's a part-timer. He's actually becoming a nostalgia act as well now, because he's barely ever there. And that's the same thing. You don't have him come back to go against a new and up-and-comer and win. And I'm praying that Cena is clever enough and smart enough and loves the business, which I know he does, to go, Vince... Even if Vince said, you're going over, for Cena to go, no, I'm not. I'm not going over. I am taking the pin for this character. Because I believe in that character.
For what I've seen behind the scenes and other stuff, Cena is, the whole hustle, loyalty, respect thing. There's an element of truth in that. There's so much respect Cena has.
Got to respect the Fiend for the character that he built. I
will be shocked to my fucking core, or whoever it is, if someone beats the Fiend at Mania, I will be shocked to my core. With Cena, I just can't. I can't even describe the level of disgust I have for WWE. I've got a level of disgust for them right now for the show we're talking about.
Yeah.
But because when that 3 count happened, it just shattered what faith I had left in Vince, and which was
it was hanging by a thread as it was.
Yeah.
And it was starting to build up again, because the build-up to Mania has not been too bad. That's all been great. The shows on Raw have been very consistent and very good. Honestly, the last month and a half at least have been very good, consistent shows. SmackDown's been crap. It's been pretty much constantly playing the same shit again and again. It's really not been that great. But Raw's been very good and very consistent and enjoyable.
Yeah.
And this has just made me go, you're a dick.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
One rumour...
It's like you make us feel like, oh, maybe he's turned a corner. No, he hasn't. He's still an idiot.
Before we get to the ratings, one thing I've seen... I don't think this will happen, but you never know. In an interview with Stephanie McMahon, they mentioned the coronavirus. Yes. And they've already said, like, look, health and safety is obviously a prime concern for fans, superstars alike. Because if we have to cancel Mania because of it, we will. Which, it would suck, but it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to get that bad. The coronavirus is bad, but some people are taking certain things out of context. The people that have died, a lot of people live in China, and obviously their health and everything isn't as good as it is here.
Yeah.
And the people that have died outside of it have been people that are either in ill health or they're old.
Yeah.
Or older, you know what I mean? So it's not, if it was someone in their mid-20s dying, then yeah, you've got cause for concern.
Yeah, it's not like they're not taking the right precautions.
No, we're doing everything that we need to do. The NHS said they're more than capable of dealing with this thing, and I have every faith in the fucking miracle workers of that place that they can deal with this, and we can do it. And all we've got to do is, everybody, you wash your hands.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Even when
you healthy.
Yeah, for these people that think you don't need to wash your hands after you go for a piss, you wash your hands. It doesn't matter what you're doing. No, 1 or 2, you wash your fucking hands, all right? Just to be extra safe. Yes, you might be the cleanest person in the world, but the person that touched that door handle 5 seconds before you went through the toilet may not have.
You heard that? 1 or 2. You gotta do it.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You wash your hands, all right? It
doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2. Washing hands is what you do. That's it.
That's the one. That's the one you should put in the NHS advert.
That's the best thing that's come out of this podcast. Most positive thing out of this whole fucking podcast. But
talking about the coronavirus.
Yeah, the ratings.
Yeah, out of 10. I've known since I watched it what I was going to give this. I said, right, I'll go for this. There was no wiggle room, because there's been a couple of times where we debated it and I've gone, you know what, actually you've changed my mind, I want to go a bit up or a bit down. I have gone for this, and there was nothing that is going to change my mind of this out of 10. 2 out of 10.
Right. Okay. I'm going to give it a very generous 3.5. Because
I'm being brutal as fuck. It is 2.
Literally, I'm giving it the 3.5 because of what I said at the start. Like, they never let down on production value and stuff. And as far as what the athletes did, they either didn't do bad, or they didn't knock it out of the park, but it wasn't terrible. It was the bookings that was the main thing.
He made a stupid decision with Taker and AJ, because he was in a match that he didn't need to be in, and he won it, he didn't need to be in. He made a stupid decision with Ricochet being buried. He made a stupid decision taking the title off the Fiend and ruining his character in the process. It was the stupidest idea in history. I think, honestly, I even said to you before we went and did the podcast, I thought, this has got to be, for me, one of the worst pay-per-views I've ever seen. It really is one of the worst.
The other matches, like I said, they're either generic, very house show kind of matches, or involve characters that we're not fully invested in yet.
Yeah.
And that's... Some of it's WWE's fault, some of it's just, it's going to take time for these kind of things. Yeah. So, that was Super Shit Show.
And it lived up to the name.
Yeah, it
Super
really
Shit Show, because it really was a fucking clusterfuck of rubbish.
It's making me... Not only is it making me worried...
It's just, every time I think of it, I'm just sighing, going, oh, fucking hell. I'm not even looking forward to SmackDown tonight. I'm hoping to watch it tonight.
Oh, SmackDown was good. I will say that. But sorry, I'm just playing with these toys on the desk here.
They're not dildos. Yeah. Let's just clarify that.
What I will say, if I can fucking remember what I was going to say, fuck, it's gone.
I said dildos, and it went straight out.
Yeah, I've got something else in my head now.
What?
It does make me kind of concerned for what they're going to put out the bag for Chamber and Mania.
When is Chamber?
Chamber's next Sunday.
Fucking hell! Yeah. I haven't even got time to really build up to it. So you're going to get another podcast next week.
Yeah, it will be next week. It's time for concern. It really is.
And it wasn't before. No. It's funny how one pay-per-view really changes things, for the worse. Because beforehand, it was comfortably building up towards Mania, and everything that was potentially or already has been put in place, I was going, I am liking this.
Yeah.
Drew versus Lesnar, yes. Becky versus Shayna, yes. Reigns versus Fiend, I'm all right with that. What else did we have? There was something else as well. Bayley versus Sasha, I was okay with as well. Taker, AJ rumors, I was fine. Edge Orton, all of this building, I was like, yes. This is all comfortably building up brilliantly.
Orton weren't there, was it? Just realised that.
And then one pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia, and the whole thing.
Like I said, maybe it's just because I don't count it as a pay-per-view, and the silver lining that.
But they have to, because they're doing title changes. If it's a house show and shit like that, it's such a rarity that they change the house show, unless they have to. But with this, the last time they've changed titles.
The last 2 Universal title changes have been in the Saudi shows. So it's like almost like, not saying you should shit on Saudi, but the main audience you've got is America. You kind of shit on them a little bit. It goes, no, we'll give the big title changes to... Yeah.
Because they think, it makes them watch it then.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's a business ploy, but by the end of the show, after I turned it off, I caught myself being Randy Orton. For the rest of the night, I was just stupid, Goldberg,
good, Goldberg, Bill Goldberg.
Yeah, oh man, but so yeah, AEW got nothing to worry about.
That's like follow that. Yeah, literally, just pop out with a broom handle and play around with that for about half an hour. You still beat it.
Fuck around with a one-legged wrestler for a while.
No legs.
Oh yeah,
no legs.
Oh yeah. I forgot about
and he was in a Rumble match, and I thought, what happens when his feet don't hit the floor?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
he's never out.
Wrestling the pillow man. Okay,
right. So yeah, we'll see. Like, subscribe, and we'll be back in a week.
Just over a week.
Yeah, for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. Bye.